I mean, what a change. We used to march in the streets. Now you're supposed to run for a cure, or walk for a cure, or jump for a cure, or whatever it is. So I think the effect of the whole pink ribbon culture was to drain and deflect the kind of militancy we had as women who were appalled to have a disease that is epidemic and yet that we don't even know the cause of.
You are on the Canadian film section. I'm Leah Paul with my last film, Pink Ribbons, Inc., a documentary. And this one is a film from the National Film Board of Canada, and my producer, Ravi Dadin, called me and asked me if I wanted to have a meal with her. She had a project and she wanted to talk about it. And it was about the pink ribbon, but I couldn't figure out what kind of film it could be. So she gave me one book from Samantha King, Pink Ribbons, Inc., the same name, The Politics of Philanthropy. I thought really that the strongest was the ink in the breast cancer. What's going on with big corporations and what are they doing and are they helping? Because it's a very emotional subject and a very complex subject. And I didn't want to attack the women at all. I really wanted to be clear that the subject was not the women walking and raising money, but how this terrible disease has been hijacked by big corporations. When I said at the premiere at the Toronto Film Festival, how can such a little innocent pink ribbon hide so many secrets and lies? And I hope that people will see the film, will just... It's more to start a new conversation about the subject and to raise questions, to be more aware of what's going on and asking where the money is going. What do you want to do with all this money that we raised? Are you okay that it goes only on pharmaceutical research, for example, or a lot is going there, and nothing or almost nothing in environment and finding the causes of breast cancer? I mean, how can you cure something you don't know the causes? For me, it's absurd, you know.
There was an interesting take on the fact that, you know, it's not a documentary that's observing that you just simply stop caring or you stop putting, you know, funds towards, but it's how the funds are being spent. We spend an enormous amount on research, and the research isn't coming through, and not like I think it said 5% on prevention. You know, and we literally have no understanding of where this comes from and why certain women are affected, or if it is arbitrary or non-arbitrary. So,
what I was the most surprised was the lack of coordination between all these organizations. I think that everyone wants progress. I don't think that these people don't want that something change. I mean, everybody is working very hard. Even people that I attack in the film, I think they are, for their reason, they think they are doing the best they can. But there is so much competition between these organizations, and instead of working all together, they are fighting one against the other. And now I think they begin to try to have more coordination, to know better what's going on in the lab in Montreal versus the lab in San Diego, how it was in the film. Because there are a lot of repetition, there is a lot of gaps, and nobody, she said, Barbara Brenner said, nobody's minding the store, you know, nobody knows where it's going, and yeah. And we try for 6 months. We try to figure out where the money was going. We hired a journalist for 6 months, and it's impossible. It's impossible. There are so many organizations. They overlaps, and nobody. And Barbara Brennett, working 20 years for Breast Cancer Action, she is the one who must know that, and she couldn't figure out. It's impossible. So. It means something, you know, there is lack of transparency and there is lack of coordination, a lot of duplication. So it's not that everything is wrong, but as I think we could say in the film, we could do much better. And this is the message that I would love the most that come across the film, that why with all this power of the women, I mean 40,000 women in Washington, it's incredible. And this is, I think, only women can drive so much forces.
But just redirecting the energy, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Other people, I've heard many people say, well, anger, not helpful. Actually, anger is helpful depending on what you do with it. And I think if people actually knew what was happening, they would be really pissed off. They should be.